A lot of our clients have problems around the holidays. They need to get things out of the attic. They need to set up all the Christmas decorations. So we wanted to put together a video on exactly how we do those things. So we'll have a little bit of a warm up. None of us want to warm up, but that's one of the main things if we want to use our glutes and move through the hip. So we want to really structure movements where we're picking up boxes and doing things, showing you how we get in the attic and prevent that back pain from starting up. So let's get into the video. First thing that I want to do is actually loosen up my glutes. So it's really easy to do against a countertop right here. So what I'm going to do is lean in and get into the side of the glute right here. And I want to break up a lot of that tissue. So if we're sleeping for long periods of time, we're getting tight in our hips. We're sitting for long periods of time, we're getting tight in our hips. So I unweight my right leg and then I dig into the side of my glute. I only do this for about a minute. I'm going to do both sides, just digging that out. I'm loosening up those muscles so they can glide across each other. And then I do a hip hinge. So I get up against the countertop and I just do 10 of these, loading through my hamstrings and my glutes. So we talk about this a lot in our videos about keeping our back in a neutral position right here and then loading through the hamstrings and glutes. You should feel it more in your hamstrings in the beginning, but this is a good way to start warming up the right muscles. So we're getting boxes and moving things around. We're not using our low back as the primary mover. We just want to use the hamstrings and the glutes as our primary. And then our low back is, we're going to use those muscles, but it's secondary. So I'm going to do 10 reps where I'm just loading up my hamstrings and glutes. After about 2 or 3 weeks, we start to feel this in our glutes a lot more than our hamstrings, as long as we're working on the form. But we're gonna do this while we're picking up boxes and doing things. So we wanna prime those muscles. So I've loosened up the glutes and I started priming those muscles. So there's a really specific way that we lift up boxes. So I always want to do that hip hinge. So I'm shifting back and I get over the box as much as I can. I'm going to grab it and then I pull it to my body and then I'll hold it up against my body as I'm moving around. What I don't want to do is push out like this. So now if I'm pushing out like that, I'm creating a fulcrum out of my back. I want to limit the amount of times that I make a fulcrum out of my back. I want the fulcrum to be at my hips. So when I'm lifting this up, I shift the hips back, pull it towards my body. And then if I'm going to set it down on something, then I open up my hips and I'll get as close as possible to the thing that I'm using. Now, when I'm going up the stairs in the attic, I'm going to get it up against the attic and I'm actually going to slide it up. So that was me extending a little bit too far. So I come up against it and then I start sliding my box up and I can get it to the top right here. And I'll do that with several boxes. So I'm getting them up against my body and then sliding them up. I'm limiting the amount of stress that I have in my low back. So I want to get a shot where we're going up and down in the attic right here. So I don't have anybody helping me. So I really want to watch the way that I'm doing this. So I come up against it. I'm going to grab this box and bring it down, keeping it up against the attic stairs, driving down all the way to here. I would be setting it down. And then when I come back, I'm just sliding it up right here, pushing my box up and getting as close to the stairs as possible. When I'm coming up and down the stairs, I really want to think about where my hips are. So what I don't want to do is be totally upright. I want to be down using my glutes. So I'm firing through the glutes because I'm at this angle with the stairs as I come up. I'm going to do that consistently when I'm getting in and out of the attic. A lot of our clients end up tweaking their back around this time because they're getting things in and out of the attic and then navigating the attic, and we'll do that in the next shot. Okay, my wife's going to kill me for this shot because our attic is not the most clean as she would like it. So when I'm getting in and around the attic, I've got to duck down, right? We don't want to get hit by a nail. I've hit my head so many times in the attic, right? But I've got to shift my hips back. That's the main thing. If I'm working right here, if my hamstrings, my glutes are fired up and they're tight, they're getting sore, then you know you're using the right muscles. If we're getting sore in our low back, then we know we're using our back too much. So when I grab things around the attic, I'm shifting around. I'm actually staying in a squat position right here. And I'll slide and rearrange things. But staying in this position and loading my hamstring, my glute, is really going to protect your back. We want to do it consistently. We teach our clients this. That's why the hip hinge is so important. But you really, when you're working around in the attic, you should be extremely sore in your glutes and your hamstrings. Like, we should be actually sore after this because we're using it so much. We want to do that consistently and we take that stress off our lower back. Otherwise, we're just going to have back pain. I want to do this every time I get in and out of the attic, stand close to the ladder, lifting up the boxes, pulling those hips back, pulling them close to the body, opening up in the hips, and consistently moving through my hips. This is the area where most of our power comes from. If you do that consistently, if you're not really screwing it up, you're not causing that irritation, your back's not going to hurt you. If you do tweak your back, we get right back onto that countertop. Just dig out the glutes. You can do it with a lacrosse ball, but dig out those glutes and then do the hip hinge. Just fire up the hamstrings and the glutes. That's the book Anatomy Trains. They talk about how our body's a pulley system. We have fascia that connects it together. So if you can pull that tension down in the hamstrings and the glutes, it'll take that stress off of your back. This is more preventative, but to get rid of the back pain, you're going to be able to do that and you'll feel a lot better. And if you do tweak it, do that 3 or 4 times, you'll be able to get rid of the pain. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is how we work on things up high, because we want to protect our neck and our shoulders. A lot of our clients will have neck pain from working on things. If you're the Christmas tree, changing light bulbs and doing things like that. So there's actually a way of just firing up the right muscles that is really effective at taking some of that stress out of your neck and working on upward rotation using your shoulder blades. So we'll set this ladder up right here. And it seems silly to talk about, but this stuff is actually extremely effective at loosening up the right areas in your neck and shoulders. So we just need to redistribute that stress and use the right stuff. So we're using our lower traps and our serratus anterior right here. So what I'm going to do is get up here. We don't have anything on the top of the tree, so I'm going to put this little hat right here. Grabbing right here. Making it look pretty for my wife. She loves me. What I'm doing though, when I get up against this, so now I'm leaned up against it, I'm gonna drive my shoulder blades down like this as I'm reaching up. I don't wanna be up here like this. I don't wanna use my upper traps and my levator and be squeezing off at my neck. And I'm jutting back with my neck. I wanna look up, almost like you have a string pulling on your head right here. So what I'm gonna do is drive my shoulder blades down and back, and I'm lifting up through my head, and I try to maintain this position as much as possible. So I'm pulling up through here. The movement is coming here through my thoracic spine. Instead of being up like this and curled and cranking on my neck, I'm driving my shoulder blade down and I'm lifting up, and I'll be reaching up, doing the things around the tree, driving down, holding that as much as possible. If you follow these little tips around getting things in and out of the attic, getting boxes, and then reaching up overhead, then you're gonna have way less pain at the end of this. And I know that a lot of people dread doing this. It's like, I dread doing it because I get so tired, but a lot of people dread doing it because they have more pain after they do the activity. So try these tips. Let us know in the comments. Let us know how effective they are at decreasing your back pain, decreasing your neck pain. Get mobile and stay active.